Welcome to the Capital Exchange. I'm Steve Wilbur, Managing Director at Allen Capital Group.
And I'm Travis Portwood, Chief Investment Officer with Allen Capital Group.
Travis, since 1960, the average U.S. personal savings rate is right around 7.9%. That is well below the amount needed to fund someone's retirement, obviously. We do know, though, people tend to save more during recessions, and in 2020, that was no different. Thanks to the pandemic and all the lockdowns, the personal savings rate jumped 15%, almost double what the normal is. And since people have increased their savings, let's talk about some of the efficient ways to save.
Yeah, the first account you should fund, Steve, is an emergency reserve account. Generally, that will consist of 3 to 6 months of living expenses, 3 months for dual income families and 6 months for single income families. But depending on your unique situation, you might need more. Basically, whatever amount lets you sleep at night and helps prevent you from making rash decisions during times of market stress or otherwise.
Everybody's different on that, aren't
Right.
they? Next, Travis, I always say give yourself a raise. If your employer matches in their HSA or their employer retirement plan, such as a 401k or a 403b, maximize your contributions so you can maximize your employer match. If you don't, you could be leaving money on the table, isn't that right?
That's correct, Steve. And after you give yourself a raise, if you have any high interest debt, pay it down. Credit cards or student loans with interest rates over 6% are wealth vampires over time. So get rid of that high interest rate debt as soon as possible after you've given yourself that raise.
Yeah, it just sucks the life out of you, doesn't it? Travis, once you are free of that high interest rate debt, turn back to your HSA and your employer plan to maximize the contributions there so you can take advantage of your tax-deferred growth to save for retirement and potentially future medical expenses that you might have. We have talked about it in the past. The HSA is a triple tax advantaged. For viewers who haven't seen, or if you haven't seen that video, or if you need a refresher, go back and watch it. We posted that on November 12th. It was a great video.
It was a great video. Okay, Steve. So if you're fortunate enough to have put yourself in a position where you've built your emergency savings account, you've paid off your high interest rate debt, and you've maximized your HSA and employer retirement plans, you have a few options at this point. Depending on your situation, you could consider paying down lower interest rate debt. You see where I'm going with this debt story here.
You love debt. You love debt.
Just to eliminate that. Or you can consider contributions at this point to IRAs or Roth IRAs or taxable brokerage accounts beyond that. There are income limits and other variables that impact your ability to contribute to IRAs and Roth IRAs, so consult your advisor and they'll help you craft a saving strategy that fits your unique situation because everyone's plan isn't exactly the same.
Can't agree more, Travis. This has been great. I look forward to it next week.
Look forward to it as well. Thank you for watching this week's Exchange.
To make sure you don't miss out on future discussions, please follow us on social media.
Make sure to like and share our videos, and we'll see you next week.